Hi everyone, thank you for coming for this Zoom meeting. Hold on, someone asked me if this will be recorded. Yes, we are recording it. So um, today I'm gonna open the Ask Me Anything, and there are three important questions that already I noted from the discussion group and also personally. So there is one person that I supposed to had like one-on-one training with me, but I had to cancel because I had a guest by the time. So I will answer his question here.
I
Strips
wanted
is
to
here.
arrive safely. Just that my phone was disturbing me from calling back. Well,
Hello, yes. Okay, all right. So let me continue. There is this guy who asked me the question that he said for some, sorry, is Trips is here? Trips is not here, right? Okay, let me see the participants right now. He's not here. So he asked me, let me read his message so you will understand what was his question last time. Okay, hold on a second. He said that I'm trying to find myself. I feel like trading is beyond the strategy and psychology. It also has to do with one personality, which is true. For example, some people trade 32 pairs without any problem, and some do trade 5, 10, 15, etc. While some trade only one pair, like Nam, for some reason, but for me, I'm facing the problem of knowing the numbers of pairs I should be trading. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and under pressure. So please, I need help. Okay. So I think this has, when you first start trading or you are quite new into the trading world, this thing happens a lot, and including to myself. So I used to be back and forth jumping, I'm sure even we see like even Nam, the one right now who is focusing on what is it, dollar yen. And last time I know that he was focusing on euro dollar and GU. Right now he is on the dollar yen, but he always focus on one. And as for myself, I tried it to a long time ago when I first started. Um, then I also focus on one and then come back to trade it all and then come back to trade it just the majors and then trade it to just 10 and then 15. I keep changing. So this happens to everyone during their learning period. But also, I would like to tell you something. Once you know your personality, for example, because here there is no which one is the best, which one is not. And for example, if you feel comfortable trading only on one pair and you already show good result on it, like Nam does, for example, or we know Kyle focusing on euro dollar, Nam is on euro yen, and maybe some other on US 30 or some other just on gold. Those people, they have found themselves that focusing on one pair can give them the best trades, okay? But for some others, if they focus on one, sometimes it can result over trade or forcing a trade. And it's got something to do with the being impatient. And I was on the later. I was on the later. Not that I don't understand like how to trade. I mean, I'm talking about the past. Okay, I'm talking about the past. So when you focus on one, there is not enough trade or the side sorry, the pair does not give you a good settings, but you forced it, you enter right away just because you want to trade, just because you need to enter a trade, which that's not the case. Okay, so for people who are especially like sniping on the lower time frame, probably focusing on one or maximum three pairs. One is the best if you're sniping, say like from M1. That's my opinion. Okay, so if you're focusing only on one, that is on scalping, you better just focus on one pair at a time. You can't scalp on a few different pairs. It will just make your brain too busy, and then you miss one the other. But on the other hand, you also have to learn to control your feeling of wanting to enter a trade, just the heck of just the heck for trading itself. Like, you're not sure if the setup is good, or the OB is, for example, the order block is good enough, but then you just you just want to trade. I'm sure you have been there. So that causes you like forced trading or revenge trading, or you become over trade. You do not feel enough, like, for example, one time, two time is actually on scalping is enough. Now, on the other hand, if you trade relaxed, like me as a day trader or a swing trader, if you wait only one, you probably will not have the opportunity, like probably even just once a week, or maybe once in 2 weeks, or once in a month. If you are a day trader or a swing trader, where you usually enter mostly on say H1, for example, or H4 even for a swing trader, you will not find those the setups for a very long time. So that's why it doesn't matter for you to looking at so many pairs at a time. Like I said, I don't mind the pairs because basically, to me, now I will just make this pair like this, okay? Now we know this is a Bitcoin. I was checking the Bitcoin when there was a drop, and I think it's gonna go lower. So anyway, so now we know this is Bitcoin because I already mentioned, and then here there is a label BTC USD, right? And we know this is on H4, and if I click here, we know this is on daily. Now, forget about all this time frame for a while, okay? I don't know if you can see this, but let's say I close that. Yeah, I closed it with something here, the time frame and the label. If you do not see the time frame, okay, if I do not show you the time frame and I do not show you the label, would you find out what pair is this? You wouldn't know. It could be Euro Yen, it could be New Zealand US dollar, it could be pound yen, it could be euro dollar, it could be Bitcoin or gold, whatever. You don't know. And you don't know, it could be M30, it could be H1, H4, D1, whatsoever. You just don't know. So a candlestick chart is just a chart. It doesn't tell you like this is supposed to be for Bitcoin, or this is supposed to be for Euro Yen. I'm talking about the forex pairs, okay? Unless if we are talking about, for example, US 500 on a higher time frame, it has some regular pattern from time to time, the move that you can tell, but that should be on a higher time frame. But on a much lower time frame, you also wouldn't know what is this. This could happen on the euro dollar. This could happen on any forex pairs, right? And so what we are focusing here is just we want to understand what is the most important in the trading itself. That is the market structure. You don't care like what pair is this, and not you don't care. Like you don't know, basically whatever you trade, you just want to know the market structure. That's it. You just want to know to pick up a valid order block. You just want to know where the market direction, like in here, the market direction is in a downtrend. And then when it was here, the market was in an uptrend. In an up direction. So you just want to know the market structure. Thus, if it is on a downtrend, you only want to focus on sell. If it is in an uptrend, you want to focus on buy, regardless whatever pair it is. That is my personality in trading. I don't care whatever pair it is. What I do care, I must be able to see as the market structure is clear to me or makes me feel comfortable, for example, to enter a particular trade. So because the order block is just the order block, market structure is just the market structure. Either it is in a downtrend or an uptrend or a sideway, either it is a minor structure or a major structure. Once you can read that, then you can manage your trade. Like you can calculate whether it is a good setup or not. Whether you know that if for example your analysis is wrong, that you still have a chance to re-enter or not, or it will be just a waste of time. Obviously, our analysis will sometimes be wrong, but basically, again, like if you do not see all this time frame, you wouldn't know what time frame is it, because it's all just the same. And also, if you do not know, like for example, this is SPX or US 500, so you don't know what is that, right? So to me, what matter is that even though I trade everything, you know that we got alerts sometimes only 2 a day, sometimes 10 a day, sometimes 15 in a day. Let's say if it is we got only 2 in a day, okay, the alert, the order block alert from us. Then, you know, some people sometimes say, hey, why there is no alert? Because there is no price that is not being, there is no order block being hit by the price. And maybe this too also happened during midnight, so I don't have trade that day. And on the other hand, when we have like all 5, 8 trades, 8 alert or 15 alert for a day, that doesn't mean you also have to take them all. What you need to do is you must limit. I think I have been talking about this for last time in one of many videos, that I limit myself most of the time, even though that I said I open 1 to 3 trades at the same time, but most of the time, especially right now, I only focus 1 pair at a time. But it doesn't matter to me whatever pair it is. It could be US dollar yen, it could be gold, it could be Bitcoin, whatever that give me alert. And then by the time I have time, and then I feel like what is it? I have time to manage my trade, and I see the opportunity, then that's it. I enter, and then if I hit, sometimes I hit 3 times a stop loss, I'm done for the day. And the next day, sometimes I get 1 to 10, and I still feel good. I got another alert, and then I re-enter again, and I got another alert. I skip, I ignore, even though I see a very good setup. But if I already got 1 to 10, and especially twice 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, 1 to 10, I'm done for the day. And also, if I got some losses, I do not revenge trading. So I just, right now, I feel like, okay, if I get 3 times, or I barely let a trade hit 4 times. If I hit, like, for example, 4 times, that would be 1%. Minus of my account, okay, and I just let it go. Even sometimes after 2 times loses, then maybe I still can continue trading. If sometimes after 2 times loses and I become not sure if I have to re-enter again, I just stop. It doesn't have to force that I have to limit myself like 3 times in a row for re-entry, or 4 times maximum. I do it 4 times because I was just very sure the market will be going on my way. But it barely happened that I always force myself to do like up to 4 times. Usually after 2 times or 3 times, then the market go on my way. But so many of them just go on my way directly without hitting a stop loss. That's how I trade. And also in a week, as you know, that I trade relax, so I do not necessarily always trade every day. You see, if I feel like I do not want to trade, I just don't trade. Okay, here's probably because I am in a good position. Okay, one of my account is rather big for me. So even if I just trade just a few in a month, I still can make, to me, I still can make a good money or good income. So that's my husband. That's why we like to trade on day trading, but most of the time we also like to trade it on swing trading. So maybe we have that benefit, but when we try, and here's the thing, we are already comfortable, we already know how or the style of how we make money from trading. And there were the moment that I forced myself. That was by the time when people keep asking me to simplify Kyle's strategy, because I'm not him, but people ask me to simplify his strategy. So I sit down and then I force myself to focus on euro dollar. What happened is that I lost the account. I mean, like, I didn't blow it up, but I keep losing, and you will have no idea. Like, I keep trying, yeah, because it was a test account, so it's about 50, almost 50% of the account was keep losing, and my husband reminded me, maybe because that is not your style in what is it, in scalping, because to my eyes, that when we trade on M1, there are too many opportunities that I lost. This is me personally, okay? That I lost focus on the main structure, that I often forget the main structure, and then the minor structure, I do not have enough time to actually focus. And I'm not truly like trying to memorize, because I always take a look at the whole picture. Plus also maybe because I also help my husband to to take a look every single 4 hour. We picked up our order block for the alert. Maybe that's also affected. And then so when I come back to trade on euro dollar, it is just like not really focusing on euro dollar, because every 4 hour I also have to create the order block manually. Sometimes it is my husband to take care of it, but sometimes it's also me. So maybe during the time that still back and forth, but I realized that M1 is not for me. But I see Nam, Kyle, and I see also Part and some other people who can do M1. They keep saying it's the same. Yes, it's the same. But if it is not your style, it is not your style. Some people can lost focus quite fast, like me. I don't know, maybe because I have ADHD. and so for some people can really patient, like Nam hunting. And he told me that sometimes he waited for 8 hours or 12 hours to let the market to reach a certain point so that he can enter a trade really at the exact level that he wait. And he, sometimes we see that in the discussion group. Sometimes he told me like, personally, oh my god, I have been waiting for this setup for X hours. So he has been really so patient, and he is a full-time trader, and then he's at home. But my style is not suitable for that, because I do not sit down in front of the computer all the time. I have another life I want to enjoy, like outside or offline. So really, for trips in here, I cannot suggest you which one is the best, because everyone has a different style. But like, with all me telling you all this, sharing all this experience, so you understand that one person, and including everyone in here, you need to try out to find your personality. Like, I think it is just about it happens to just about anything, right? Like, I mean, for some people you will probably like sneaker, some people like sandals, some people like shoes, formal shoes. So it just depends on your own comfortability. The same in trading, whether you like it to be on day trading, swing trading, or scalping. But if you are scalping, focus only on one. If you are day trading, you can trade any pair, okay? Because if you just trade only one and you are a day trader, you will rarely find what is it, a pair or a trade setup, probably just 1 or 2 times in a week. But if that's okay with you, because for example, you just want to focus on day trading for euro yen, let's say for this pair, okay? Now, take a look. This is a market is in a downtrend. Almost this week, 5 days, you probably do not have, like in these 5 days or 3 days, you do not have any setup at all. That if you focus only on one, for example, if you enter from H1, okay? Maybe on M15 or going to M1 is a different matter. But when you are day trader, so of course you want to find out your order block based on H1 or H4, right? And you will find rarely set up in a week. That if you focus on one. So if that's okay with you, then just go. And while related to the pair, like I said, it doesn't matter whatever pair you choose, because to me, it's candlestick, but probably others have a different opinion. And so, but I would suggest you limit, if you want to trade at the same time, limit yourself 2 or 3 maximum. But I personally, right now, if I have one trade running, I just let it go, one trade, and that's it for me in a day. Anyone may have other suggestions, so you are welcome to share your opinion on this matter also.
Hi, Anne.
Hi James, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. I just wanted to, it makes a lot of sense what you said. I just wanted to add something on that. There are some advantages and disadvantages to different time frames. For example, for M1, people can have higher R&R and can reach it quicker. It's my favorite time frame, actually, 1 minute time frame, and you can catch a lot of trades per day. For example, swing trading for H4 or daily or even H1 trades. Sometimes I do swing trading as well sometimes, but sometimes you need to wait for a week or weeks, and your risk is about the same. I risk half a percent on each trade. So if I take a swing trade for 0.5% risk, in order to wait for my TP or SL, I have to wait 5 days, a week, or even more sometimes. But with 1 minute time frame, you can reach your goal quicker. But as you said, it depends on psychology of people. But the win rate for somebody who does scalping could be about the same as someone who does swing trading really well, because markets are fractal. So everything that happens in higher time frame could happen in lower time frame as well. If we understand it well in whatever time frame that we focus on, we could be successful. Because a lot of people say that if you do scalping or if you trade in lower time frame, there is a lot of noise and you're going to lose all the time. This is not true. Like Kyle is very successful in 1 minute or even lower time frames. So that statement is not true. That I'm not saying you're saying that. Some other people say that sometimes. So it depends on the person.
It is not, I think market noise is when there is the news, right? Now, if we see sometimes we see, even though here, don't you think it is a noise right now? Like right now here, like this is H1, there are still noise. So it's really like when it comes to candlestick, like I said, it's the same. If we do not see this, so the most important thing that you know how to read the market structure, be it on M1, M5, is just your comfortability. Maybe for me, when I take a look, let's say start going for entry on M15 or M5, at least one candle is 5 minutes. I have longer time to think. You know, like sometimes on M1, yes, you just have to take a decision like really fast. Also, something else. I'm not saying that my account is really big, but let's say if your account is already in the millions, okay? Now, when your account is already in a million, you will feel different when it comes to trading. I don't know, probably some of you have got this in $1 million account. Like when you do that, number one, you want to be more careful. Number two, you do not want to make a rush in, in psychology mistakes, like for example, overtrade or, like bad judgment. So you want to give your time. I barely hear that when someone, I know quite a few people who also have more than $5 million account. So once you are in $1 million account, you usually tend to go to slightly little higher time frame, because that's why I said, like, I want to trade relax, for example. That's because if I trade even just 1 to less than 5% in a month, it's still very big for me. Then that, but if you want to make I have like a smaller account, like 1,000, 2,000, that usually if I want to do on M5 and 15, and I have several trading accounts, but on the main one, we usually trade mostly based on almost weekly, actually. So it's a swing trading, not weekly candle, but our analysis based on weekly order block or weekly analysis. So even if we just aim 1 to 3, 1 to 5, that's still really huge for us, and we do not have to be like really always in front of the computer. But if we just want to make, let's say, like a couple $1,000, like like for day-to-day life, we can just trade less than 100,000 or 50K, for example, and then we can do day trading. Because I understand, because a long time ago when I was practicing, when you are having in the less than $10,000, this is, I'm talking about based on my experience. When your trading account is less than $10,000, that sometimes you have the urge that you want to grow this to as quick as possible. So sometimes going to M1 is good, but don't make any mistake, because there is this guy, I don't know him, but I just read from somewhere in Quora last time. So this guy is making in hundreds of millions, and he's still trading on M1. But so far I know people who already have like quite a big money, they usually do use a higher time frame, so relaxed trading. But if you are like when you already make like quite good money, you want to enjoy, right? You do not want to keep sitting down in front of the computer. But heck, if it is still like less than 100,000 or less than 10,000, for example, yeah, of course you want to keep practicing, and regardless the time frame, and maybe it is your personality. If I, my maximum is always on M5. I don't know, for some reason on M1, I often have no, it end up positive. Okay, now let's say I would go to M1, because when I read the market, sometimes it's end up positive, but at some point, this positive is being, let's say, I lost track. Because here, when I take a look, if I cherry picking, this is already happened, it looks really nice, right? But you see, basically, like if you aim like 1 to 3, 1 to 3, that is the sweet spot of every single trade is 1 to 3. But we always aim like 1 to 5, for example. And by the end is, I sit down in front of the computer, could be like many hours studying the M1. It doesn't have to, but I monitor it actually for many hours to find like a good setup. And comparing, you can prove this to yourself, because I have proven this to myself. You trade it on a higher time frame and a much lower time frame, be it on M1 or M15, and those who trade like any other peer, I see the result is not that different. Sometimes people who are actually a swing trader are in the very long run are the one who actually make money. You can it is not set as a stone, but along the time when you are trading like a full time for many years, you will know. So maybe, have you ever heard let's say I'm still a retail trader, right? Even though that you got like, for example, in $1 million account, but we are still retail traders. But have you ever heard a billionaire or a billion hedge fund who do scalping? They do scalping.
Yes.
We do.
There is one, but he's a mathematician. His name is Jim Simons. He's got a book you can read about him as well. But they are rare. There are not many of them. I agree.
Yes, exactly. That is not many of them. And usually the one who is scalping, they do not use scalping manually. I think when you already reach like a hedge fund, they are more interested into high frequency trading using a robot. And that robot alone probably could cost millions, you know, to create such robot. I don't know. I'm not in that circle, but it's just that there is this documentary. I think both money. I think you can watch it. That everyone, all these rich people, hedge funds, billionaires, they are using the robot, and it is not even on 1 minute. It is not even on 15 seconds. It's just millisecond trade. It's insane. It's insane. Those are the kind of scalping that these people are working and doing, and there are also still limitations, but I am more maybe because we also hold like some stocks, you know, so we read, and when we sell it, and it is always based on a higher time frame. But that's me. And again, it is really based on the personality. But the more money you have, or the more you grow your account, people tend to want to enjoy their time, and then so they want to reduce their trade time, unless you can be really disciplined, like for example like Nam, 8 hours a day or more, and that is like a working time, then absolutely is doable. I think it's really depend on the personality. I'm just sharing my experience. So I end up being a day trader or a swing trader for our main account. So does anyone want to add something else? Maybe you have experience.
Hi, it's Muna.
Hi, Muna.
But my voice is very poor, so I'll be brief.
Okay.
I took the oil trade using the 1 hour close. It was like a scalping trade, but I held it right to the bottom. So it really depends on personalities, like you're saying. Yes, you can see that oil trade there. Only 1 hour.
Only 1 hour? Hold on.
Yeah.
Where energies? You know, oil is gonna go up.
Yeah, yes, I took it right from here. Let me use the annotate.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to use the annotate here. Okay, now if you go back a bit on the what time frame is it? Go on the 1 hour, please. 1 hour.
This is daily. This
Yeah, go on the 1 hour, please.
4, and this is hourly.
Yeah, please. Yeah, okay. Oh, my thing is blocking the space here. Okay, yeah. I took it after this candle close.
Which
and
candle close?
This candle close here, this one. And
then, okay, you buy. You buy or sell?
Sold all the way.
Okay.
I sold all the way here.
Whoa, my God.
That's yeah, what I did. And I actually added here. If you look at this candle here, I added there. This candle, if you are seeing, and I also added here. You added in there. Yeah, that's perfect. Yes. That's perfect because it's broken over here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the reason why I held it right down here is because of this Fibonacci indicator. I was actually timing it to come right down here to the -27 daily, but I saw the way the price was coming down so fast. So I thought to myself, -27, it will be more than -27 on the daily. So I let it to come right down here. So it's like a scalping on the 5-minute time frame, which then became a swing trade because I was looking at the bias. Yeah, the bias from which direction you get it from? The bias from H4 or D1? No, from D1, I knew there was going to be a retracement. If you go to the D1, there was going to be a retracement. So based on that retracement, now I went to the 1 hour and I was just waiting for a candle break.
Yeah, so over here,
Yes.
right?
Yes, here.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
And
it went
as
quite
for
well.
this time, yeah, because I trade like a swing trade. I'm not like really buying oil, but before a trader, my husband was an oil company man. He was working in an oil company. I mean, so according to him, so right now, hold on a second. How to remove that? Can you remove the?
Yes, I'm trying to clear it. I'm trying to clear it now. I'm not sure why it's not going.
Hold on. There must be over here.
I'm trying to clear. Okay, it's gone. Yeah.
So according to him, but also I see that clearly here. You see, like on monthly or weekly. If you, this is for those who are a swing trader like us. So oil is actually a better investment right now than gold for now. It's ridiculous. So if we want to make money in the long term, but that is more into like a stock, you know, like a stock market, not as trading like us, like day trader. So this is just a side thing, like beside gold, that oil, it will be better for this time year alone. Could be
Hello, Anna, I can't hear you. I'm not sure whether it's just me. Volume. The voice is gone.
Hello guys, can you hear me? So sorry, I was
Yes, we can hear you now.
okay, so sorry, it was, I think I think, it don't know, I do not lose power. I still have power, but I think there was something in the internet connection suddenly lost. So anyway, hold on a second, let me share my screen again. I'm sorry guys. Where is that share screen? Okay, so I will continue into the second question, more discussion with Par, and he just texted me a while ago that he cannot come because he need to be he need to go out, so he cannot get in time until 6 p.m. My time. So anyway, we were talking about here on US dollar yen. There was an alert from us, okay? There was an alert from us, this one, okay? And he shows several of his trade that is failed, okay? He showed it failed. Now, I said to him, I won like 1 to 10. How come you lost? And his answer was because it was passing the order block like this one on H1, because the loss could be here. So he uses 1 hour candle break, I think this one probably, and it obviously a loss, okay? While I use this one, I use this one for the first candle break here, break the high. So this one is a loss, And I was, you know, this one is the last, and then here is the second one. So he didn't take this because he thought that this is already invalid anymore. Now, this is very important. In the last session of the Zoom call, I think it was last week or during the last 2 weeks, when it comes to the order block, we know that sometimes the order block is being respected by the price. Like, for example, really nice. Let me just give you a quick example. Let's say like this. I know this is H1, right? Here, the order block being respected nicely, and when it hit and then directly goes up, right? Well, this one is not so much unless you take with the whole body over here. And here also respected nicely, hit going up, but here is just a good example over here. Okay, sometimes it's really perfectly being respected by the price and then goes up. But on the other hand, sometimes an order block, like let's say this order block was not respected. Okay, the price just come back, but very, very strong and then goes up. Or sometimes the price was like, how do you say it? Like too much respected until it goes through below the order block and then going up, right? That's why we want to, some people, if you know, last time if I'm lazy, so I could just take at 50%, you know, so I could get like 2 losses or 3 losses here before I get my 1 to 10, for example. So it still gives me like 1 to 7 if I keep re-entering over here until 3 times. But if you want to minimize the losses, so you obviously want to go to a lower time frame. But now this is not the case, okay? So some of you, okay, James, wait a second, okay? Let me ask, let me finish first. So I know that someone, okay, so some of you may be thinking like, when we should consider stop to if an order block pass like this, for example, why I still took this as the order block and I end up having a nice entry and 1 to 10. Basically, if I let it go until here, you know, the price is not finished yet. I think the price could reach this one, daily Fibonacci 127. It was actually amazing when I could go enter here and I am here, but I did not. So my 1 to 10 is still around the order block, but you know me, I just 1 to 10 is enough for me. So if you aim until daily high, it could be 1 to 30. So PAR shows so many losses. Even that happened, you have, for example, 12 losses. But then with one trade like this, you know where is your target, let's say on daily high like this. And that could, that still can cover all the losses you have. Does that make sense? That is the beauty if like when you are trading the order block. Like if you are aiming 1 to 10, basically, if you lose 9 times out of 10, you still positive or at least break even. 1 winning, 9 loses, you still positive. So in this case, especially if you win like 1 to 30 like this, but let's say just focus on 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 on average. Now, you may ask why I still take a trade over here. And this is important question also from PAR, because he stopped when the price already goes back here. Now, the answer to this is, remember, to the market structure. So when you receive, for example, the order block, okay, again, you have to give yourself like a buffer, like where is the last main structure that will make this this particular trade or order block become invalid. So to me, yes, it can be this or this. I took this. Why? Because this is the monthly low. That's number one. It's just me. Like I said, when you talk about the what is it? The market structure. It could be just you know, could be different from one person to another person. So Par probably took this. So he thought, okay, this become invalid because it's already been broken, but I took this. So the answer to this is that when you think when an order block become invalid, okay, you have to draw your main structure. To me, if the price breaks this low, there is a possibility that the market to reverse to become sell. As long as it is not, and why I still buy from here, because I see here is already broken, and I also see this 1 weekly high is already broken, and there is possibility the price to actually reach the 27, and it did not yet, so I still have a chance. So that's why I buy from here. So the most important thing, if for example the price go beyond or above the order block, if you want to know whether it's still valid or not, take a look if it's still above or below the main structure. In this case, it's still above the main structure. If you decide this as the main structure, unless if the price come back broken this one, then you want to forget to buy. So you just want to focus on sell instead. Does that make sense? James, you can go ahead.
Yes, it does. I just wanted to add something here. I personally don't like to take second and third shots if the first one fails, because if it goes through the order block, it's not that order block is not valid anymore. Once it goes through that, price wants to test the fair value gap. So if you have a look at here, sorry for my bad. So if you have a look here, there is FVG here, fair value gap here. So when it goes through this order block, price wants to mitigate this fair value gap to go back up. So we can wait here and maybe put another order here with stop loss a little bit below it. That would be a safer bet than, this is just my opinion, than trying to enter a few times here in that order block. Because I believe when it goes through the order block here, price wants to go lower to mitigate lower, and it doesn't always have to be order block. It can just mitigate this imbalance zone and then come back up.
Or grab liquidity. Or grab liquidity.
Yes.
Yeah, liquidity grab. Yes. Hold on.
There was equal lows here as well. Here and here, there was equal lows.
You see that? So you
yes.
Yeah, correct. If you put that into consideration, and on H1, you're correct. I did not notice that. It's just okay, the first one was failed, but I see my chances until here, as long as the price did not break this this area, okay, this red area, come back here. So I still can buy. I did not trade the fair value gap. I just see it like when I see, okay, this is a candle break above, and then I go to M15. Okay, so here someone also asked me why you did not put this the whole candle like that, because it's 42 pips. It was too big. That's why I just take the exact like this. It's just a matter of your choice, and I took it 50% of the order block. Okay, you see that the what is it, 1 to 10 is still around this area, so I just let it go. So it happened while I was like sleeping, and I was thinking that if I hit a stop loss, so I just re-enter, because I didn't want to put it like this big like that, and it takes longer. So it's better for me to take it 50% over here, and I would still be happy if I got, for example, 3 times losses here by using the re-entry re-entry software using our tool over here, and it still reached, for example, 1 to 10, I'm still making like 8R. That was my opinion over here. I did not trade like the what is it, the equal high, equal low, or FEG or the gap. You see, like, because basically if you are talking about FEG and this was euro yen of this euro yen. So you see there are so many fair value gap over here. So when you do this, so it could be anywhere, right? It could be.
We don't know which one. Yes.
Yeah, we don't know that which one. That's why I do not use gap really matter, but even for some strategy, it could be really matter. So you will just become guessing, because is it this gap or that gap or that? So I just look based on the H1 candle break, even though that this one also obviously not always working. You see here, this one is breaks below after it breaks the high and breaks lower. So if this the case happen, another example here on US 30, PAR also had 3 losses here. Okay, 3 losses here. I didn't enter these, my husband did. I noticed that on his small account, because this enter. So anything when he want to trade on M15, using all this H1 candle break, you know, so he tried to keep practicing this H1 candle break, and he made this also 1 to 10. When PAR showed that it was 3 losses, he said over here, my husband got only 1 losses here. So when I checked, so what happened is that, you see, he used this as the first break below. Okay, the first candle over here, this candle, and then it it failed. That's the first loss that he got. Okay, when he went to M15, hold on, let me draw that again. So this candle is very small, this break the low, right? But then it keep going up, and he told me, instead of he take the next one as another break below, he didn't consider this as break below. Why? Because he started to feel that it is like a sideway, starting a sideway. You see, the candle is not so high, it's not so low, and so he wanted to wait a candle that is give a clear break below. Like in this case, he chose this one, so he lost 1, and then he went to M15. So I didn't know when I discussed it with PAR at the time. So I said I didn't know which one, but I asked him. So this is his entry on a 50% over here. He's supposed to take this one, but I know he's very conservative, so he always take it the last high and then make it like at 50%, like that. Yeah, you know, so this is like he got it like 1 to 10, because basically his target was daily low. You see, that is why sometimes when you see why I am losing but some other are winning. So here's the thing, okay, you do not want to trade it exactly like by the book. That's why, because we are trading manual, so we want to see some sometimes a little adjustment, because we are not robot. Okay, now let's focus on this. When we go to H4, for example, we see this is the market is we got this alert, and when we take a look on H1, okay, this is the candle break enter. We have no choice, everyone will have a loss over here. But maybe like when you started seeing, I don't know if my husband did not choose this because he was not in front of the computer, or he just feel like this is a sideway, but he told me it's because a sideway, so he wouldn't take it until he see a clear breaks below, and maybe that's why he took this one, and obviously he may take this one also, right, after this happened. And then so we don't know. So if you take this one, for example, let's say you are late, I don't know whether there will be an entry here, or maybe you will see some other losses, because you know, this H1 candle break high and low is not like super holy grail. You see, like if you see over here, it will still be around this area, but this is like way too big, you know, this is way too big. You do not want to take it. Sometimes some people would take the last week like that. I don't know, I don't understand it. It's probably it's like supply and demand if they are taking it at the week like this. So you may still have a trade, but he was lucky enough, he went to M15 and he saw this, and it's already broken the low over here, I guess.
And can I add something here, please?
Yeah, sure. Hold on a second. And yeah, he just see that there will be a bunch over here, so that's why he put it over there. So you want to analyze first, not really entering like by the book. Also, I noticed are just entering only one time, like US dollar only one time, and that's it. No, sometimes you see several. If we know that there is probability like euro yen, if you think that it's still gonna go higher, for example, you can wait into the continuation after one loses here. If you do not feel comfortable here and then there is losses, you do not want to keep entering from here, but of course you want to wait until the new breaks the high, like this one, like I did. And then so you continue, and then you see, actually I was you know, I said to him that I missed this, but obviously I will not have time to trade this one because this happened like early in the morning. So if I re-enter something like this, I re-enter again at 50%, this one trade alone can give you like 1 to 30. But you know, sometimes, many times, you may not be able to catch it. Like me, like this is probably at 3 a.m. I think. I was sleeping, so I didn't see this. But if it is in the afternoon and I see this, so this one is a losing one. Okay, so this one is a losing one. Maybe I took this, for example, as my order block before. Okay, so I took that as my order block before, and it hit a stop loss, keep going down. And then I see this another new break of structure from H1, and then I take this as 50%. And if I continue, for example, after a couple hours and come back here and I still see, this is why, this is also why I focus only at one pair at the time, even though regardless whatever pair, I could trade gold, euro dollar, euro yen, pound, Aussie, whatever, but I would just focus, for example, if I got an entry on euro yen, and then I get an alert again, I usually just skip it. I just focus on this one. If I see this pair, this alert has the probability to actually going up, focus on that pair, because sometimes, not sometimes, very often when you go to much lower time frame, even after H1 break the high or break the low, you will usually have another chances, like this is number 2 and this is number 3. One, if you focus on one like this, you can make like 1 to 10 easily. In this particular example, you had a chance to make it like 1 to 50, combining between this one and this one. So you don't have to take every single alert. Okay, so if you feel comfortable with the euro yen, for example, focus on this and forget the rest. But if you do not feel comfortable with the look, for example, even on H1, don't trade it at all. Okay, so that is my advice, and also is still related to the first question. And James, you can go ahead.
Sorry, and could you please go back to the previous chart when there was a sell setup?
Sell setup?
Yes,
this
there
one?
was a yes, that one.
What time frame do you want?
Yes, here, please. I just wanted to share something that could be beneficial for other people as well. I did another course as well on supply and demand, because you were saying this blue candle, this bullish candle is too big to trade from.
Yes.
I'm just going to just a second, please. I'm just going to add on it. So from this week, just a second is.
It could be this, isn't it?
Yes, that's the supply zone. So from the top of the wick to the top of the body is a supply zone that you can trade from. And I prefer to trade after I see an impulsive move, meaning that there was a big order that pushed the price down
Yes.
so strongly. So if I wait here again with my order inside the supply zone, it will be a better trade. I mean, more probable trade than
Yes.
trading when you're not sure.
Yes.
That's how I do it. If the order block is too big, because we don't have to only trade order block. We can select to
Correct. Yeah, so
trade
that's
the
why you want to
imbalance or supply.
combine to balance the strategy. It is true. Like for example, if this one is too big, sometimes I see people like putting at the wick. It's always working like this order block, okay? Because here, this is the breakout structure. So the order block is the last bullish candle over this, and it's become too big, like 32. Like what the heck? And it's also, if you take this with this wick, it could be like really big. So some people take it just the last week, and it is based on the supply and demand strategy. So this can also be done. But in my case, in my husband case, so he uses like, okay, this was the break of structure from H1, and then he knew that this one is the order block, but overall this is a sideway. So I bet that he take it the whole thing to the top like that, and then he put it at 50% of this candle, and he aimed, what is it? But he said that he put it 1 to 10. Hold on. There, yes. He said it's even before hitting the daily order block, he reached 1 to 10. So I don't know exactly, but I think he put it like that. There.
Yes.
With the last candle, I think 50%. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And that wick I was showing as well. That wick is an imbalance by itself in lower time frames. We can't see it here, but in 1 or 2 lower time frames, it is an imbalance zone or another order block to trade from.
Yes. So okay, that the 2 questions that already been answered. Is there any other question?
Thank you.
You may have. So anyone may have.
Yes, and if you go back to that, was it USD yen?
Okay.
That pair that the order block went through. Yeah, this one.
Yes.
Sorry. There was the yen news. This was on Friday, so there was big yen news.
Over here.
Tend to here. This one.
Okay.
This one is because of the yen news. So what I do is I tend to stay away from the market, from this particular market, for example, when we have big news coming. Like, for example, the governor of the Bank of Japan was supposed to have a press conference or something like that. So I stay away because there is this crazy swings that happen all the time. I'm not sure whether it's the right thing to do, or is there a way of overcoming this?
You know what? Sometimes the news is actually helping, like in this case, helping this to pick up the order block and working. There is this service, but it's very expensive for most of regular trader like us. It costs, if I'm not mistaken, it costs about $150 a month just to get the hint. It names is what is it? Round squawk? I forgot. I thought it's like a duck. Round squawk. Have you ever heard it? I forgot. Round squawk. You can get their free trial for a week. They will give you, and you can just request for Forex only. But it's really confusing. But the moment, for example, whenever there is the news, they will tell you that it will going down or it will going up. So many fundamental traders are subscribing to their channel, but sometimes they just put a very tight stop loss to just get into the move. But if many of us trading with the prop firm, obviously it is not really worth it. You know, it's not worth it because we cannot trade during the news. So there are I tried it their future. To me it's so confusing and not worth it, even 150. But yeah, so better yet to avoid it. Actually, well, I didn't know this was the news. Yeah, it was like 5 a.m. I'm just saying like, oh, this is impossible for me because I was sleeping still. This is around at 5 or so, and this happened around at the order block was around 2 or 3. Yeah, around 3 a.m. So I wouldn't mark the order block at 3 a.m. but it happened, it was hit at 5. So if I knew there would be a news, for example, over here, I may as well just skip this one. You see, I like to trade like really based on the market structure, regardless there is regardless the pair or the time frame. So first I usually just go, for example, on H4. Okay, I got this alert. So I got this alert, and when the price hit over here, I thought, oh, this look nice, it has possibility to go higher. Hello? Yes? Someone just oh, hi Par. Okay, you just got home. I have answered your question. So anyway, you can watch in the recording. So first what I see, so this is the H4 order block, and then if I feel there will be at least retracement to this order block, if I think this is gonna be a reverse, okay, so there will be at least retracement to here. Oh, let me change it to here for sell, and I will see on the much lower time frame, is it worth it, for example. So my goal would probably just take profit over here on this line, not daily. Okay, but if I see something like this, okay, this has a chance to actually go here, then I go to H1 or M15 in this case. That right now we are all practicing the H1 candle break, and then I see, and then the probability is quite high from here, including like if this one was working, for example, but it didn't. You see, if it is at 50%, it will give you like 1 to 9, and it didn't work. And then I went and I got it over here at the lower part over here on M15. Okay, and then say I put it here, I always put it at 50%. It will still give me more than 1 to 20. So it is worth it if I said I keep re-entering, but still limiting myself up to 3 times. Okay, so the first time when you get the alert, you want to focus based on your understanding of the market structure itself. Do you feel comfortable? Where do you think the market could go after it hit the order block? The bare minimum, it could go here, for example, because yeah, if you use supply and demand, this one was not there yet, right? All these blue candle. So at least if you think that it will go around this area, you want to measure the risk reward ratio. Like in this case, when I went to M15, I see from M15, the entry from M15 here from below, it has the probability to reach more than 1 to 20. So that's why I put my re-entry preparation for re-entry for 2 times, which means if I lose 3 times, then I'm done. But it didn't hit. It didn't hit a stop loss, so it works right away in my case over here, right? So you want to understand the market structure first. You want to mark where the market will the market will become really invalid or reverse. I mark this one because the the market will really reverse if it breaks this main structure of H4 and it went below weekly low, for example. So here, if the market crossed this, then I will only looking for sell, because this is the main structure, not the, and here when it breaks, to me, this is still a minor structure. So there is still possibility to go higher. So any other question?
Yes, and can you hear me?
Yeah, who's speaking right now? Where is the list of, hold on, where is the, okay, sure. Who's speaking now?
Okay. It's Timothy.
Ah, okay. All right.
Okay. My question is about the continuation pattern, the continuation model. Like, let's say I miss my entry point. How do I enter the market? Like the move. How do I get in the move? Let's say I miss the entry point.
Okay. If you miss the entry point, when it hit, like, look at that. Okay. I'm not saying, but if I wouldn't take this because this is already midnight, but let's say this is not midnight. Okay. Let's just going like that. So if you miss this order block, you see how many actually you get the chance, including this one, right? That one, it was hit. It was hit, and this was another chance. So once the market get its way, we just want to get it early, right? After the candle break, and we are looking for that. But if you go deeper again, if you want, for example, you go to M5, you probably have another entry around this area or around this area, I don't know. But in this instance, that M15 is enough, make more sense. For example, I don't know, I didn't go to M5 by the time because I knew that on M15 it was very big. Wow, they're all, yeah, almost the same. Almost the same. I took it on M15. I took this because I thought that this is like too big, 47, I think. Yeah, almost. It was 47. So was that your question? So if you cannot reach the first one, so you can get into continuation, like when you get the alert, you want to know where the market could go. Like I said, let's say the market, like we think that the market could go daily high, okay? So you want to measure first. You want to know if the market, let's say if you want to enter from here, for example, you want to enter at 50% at this candle, just for the heck of example, or in this candle, for example. Okay, look, in this candle, and you will hit like let me put this, that is the order block. You hit one time as stop loss, but it still gives you 1 to 10 to this daily candle. So you want to know the risk reward first. If, for example, you want to take something like this, is it worth it? Like if you want to take from here to here, still 5R is still worth it to me if you have time. Like then it hit a stop loss. Now if it hit a stop loss 3 times and then working, you still make 2R. So if you think that it's still worth it, yeah, because it's already happened, so you can tell that it is 10R right now. But I'm saying, like, if you think once you get the alert and you think that there is probability the market could reach daily high, you always want to measure before you enter a trade the probability. So you can try to re-enter, like, for example, up to 3 times or 4 times maximum, like me, for this particular pair, to get an entry from wherever it is, whether at the beginning or it's already late for you. If it is late, look, even if you take like the whole candle over here, it still gives you like more than 1 to 10, maybe 1 to 25 around here. So it's still worth it. Yeah, so go for it. Even if it is late, it doesn't matter, because you know where is the market will go. You do not just trade only you know, even I always trade up to 1 to 10, okay? 1 to 10 is enough for me, for example, but I know the market can go here. So this is still worth it for me to enter from here. You do not want to just trade blindly. Let's say for the sake of example, this is the order block. I know this is from H4 and you think the market can go here, okay? So if you take it like this is only 3R, this is not worth it for me. If you want to take this one, this is only 3R. This type of trade is not worth it. So you do not want to take it. You only want to take it if it has a probability, a minimum of 1 to 5. Better yet, if it is a minimum of 1 to 20. So if you may miss the chance around at the early, you can continue, you can find into the continuation even a little higher, because there was still a chance to the top. Does that make sense? So you want to see, like, once you reach once you receive the alert, you mark like this where the price could go. So when you go to lower time frame, for example, this is the highest. Let's say this is the highest or the the minimum the market could go, and this is the lowest. I want to avoid buying, because this is the main structure. For example, if it is like, up to you, maybe some of you will think like this one over here as the main structure. We don't know, because but mine, it was this. To me, this is like a very long leg, so it has a chance to actually go higher, and it's already broken, come back, it may still go higher to reach this one, probably this. Or it may as well go lower and break this one. We don't know, but the moment when I get this alert, I know at least the price could reach this one. And my M was only 1 to 10. 1 to 10 was still within the H4 order block, so I took it. Okay, do you guys have any question?
Yes, Anne,
Yes,
it's Muna again.
Okay.
Let me give the
Go ahead,
space to
Muna.
another person. Let me let another person speak, please.
Okay.
Okay, Trips. Go ahead.
Thank you, Muna. I want to ask if the candle touches the H4 order block. The candle that touched it, if it is broken on the 1 hour, is it possible for that candle to be broken on the 1 hour? And if yes, are we going to take the trade like that, or wait for 2 hours for the next candle to be broken? I don't know if you understand my question.
I don't really understand. Could you please repeat that?
Okay, let me use the annotate. Can you increase your screen so I can
Okay, you want me on the H1?
I want it to be bigger on the H4.
On the H4. Okay.
Yes.
Here.
So yes. So for instance, this candle was touched.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So when you go to the H1, can you put the marker there when you go to the H1?
Because we want to get as early as possible. You can go into H4, but it may reverse and already reach where it could go. But in this case, it didn't. So you could start from here, right? Because this is the first. Okay.
Yes. So the question I'm trying to ask now is, after this H4 candle touches the order block, the H4 order block, and you go to the H1, there will be another candle showing that broke this, that touched this order block. If the next candle breaks that previous candle, are you going to take it, or you wait for 2 candles to be broken? Can you go to the H1 time frame so I can explain better?
Okay, we'll go to H1 now. Okay,
yes,
here.
Okay.
This is the candle that is hit. Okay.
Exactly.
So this is the candle that hit. Okay. And then.
Okay. So the question I'm asking is, if this next candle breaks it here, are you going to consider it as a trade, or you wait for this candle to break this one?
No. Let's say this candle, okay? And then this hit one, and then let's say the candle was going higher like that, okay? So it breaks the high.
Yes.
So you will start looking for opportunity when this candle start. So you start looking for opportunity in here. But in this case, the first candle that breaks the high, look at that. That breaks the high are this one, right? It breaks the high.
Yes.
I know. Look, it looks like if we use, for example, if we are more careful, first this is breaks the high, but then it end up bearish and it closed really at the end. If we
Yes.
feel, you know, like I said, we do not want to truly candle break the high, like truly by the book, maybe, but I did not. I myself fell for this. So I just thought, what the heck, I will just enter, and I lost. Okay. So maybe if
Yeah.
we understand, okay, the candle breaks the high, and then take a look, the wick is more than 50% and the body close almost full. So I just want to wait, for example, the next 1 hour candle break. That would be safe. That would be safer, but I didn't. So I start looking for an entry at this candle, and I lost,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
and I lost over here because I took this as my entry. And it was just right away with this candle, just right away with this candle when it was like already going down. I was just trying to be like a smart, as it was actually almost like a market order, or like almost like a buy stop. I thought, okay, so it's coming from below, it was actually become buy stop at 50% of this candle, you know, and it was just hit, and directly the moment it less than 15 minutes and it was hit. So I just go down here again. Okay, this, I felt very stupid when I entered this one, and then it was hit directly by the stop loss. So I waited again, and here is the first candle break, and it is blue. So I start looking for a buy on this candle when this candle
Okay.
start. Okay, when this candle start again, some people that was, they ask the question, when are you, is that okay if the candle if you start entering when the candle is already above, for example, the order block, or within order block, or below the order block? To me, it doesn't matter. What matters most, again, you have to understand the market structure from the higher time frame. You mark the range where the market could go, and then until where the market could go, that become invalid. In this case, if the market keep going down and passing this one, I would just skip. I will not buy, because the market is already break this structure. And you know, last time I learned my lesson. For quite some times I like counter trend, you see, but right now, and especially after the war, the market sometimes when in a bearish, like look what happened to Bitcoin here. Okay, now you think I will just buy. Why? Because the market has probability to go up here. This is absolutely correct, right? But look what happened when the market is very strong, it just keep continue down. So counter trend, why this is considered counter trend? If we are looking for buy around within this area, okay, let's say we go to a lower time frame, and then if we go to lower time frame and we are looking like, okay, I want to go to a buy opportunity and hitting this one, it's dangerous when it is in a market is in a downtrend and you buy counter trend. Always remember, when the market is in a downtrend, there is possibility that the pound, it may be hit, but maybe like after sometimes, we don't know, or maybe after sometimes it passed the order block itself. So if it is in a downtrend, you just want to focus on sale. So if it is an uptrend, you just want to focus on buy. So in this case, if the market passing this area that I already marked on H4, I will not buy. But if the price make the breaks the high from H1, in this case this one, okay, and it is on H1 and it's still above the zone, above this zone, then I will still buy. I still have a chance to buy, even though it is already below the order block itself. So it doesn't mean when it is past the order block and it's become invalid. Being invalid is that when the price is passing the main zone, the main structure of the order block, that tells you the market is about to reverse. If it is still like beyond like this and then it still go up, we still can manage it even just by the candle break like this based on H1 and M15. You see, but I prefer right now on H1. This is basically, I try to make it as simple as possible. This is basically the same like 1, 2, 3, you know, like 1, 2, 3, like but in a very simple way, and because it's easy to spot, just break the high or breaks the low like this, breaks the high or breaks the low. Okay, so there was another question. It was from Muna. Timothy, was that clear, or do you still have another question?
No, I wasn't the one that asked the question.
Okay. No, I don't have any question again. Thank you.
Okay.
For now.
Okay, and
I think it was Muna.
yes, it's Muna now.
Okay.
What I wanted to say about the question, somebody asked if they are missed the original order block, what happens? What I normally do, I follow your style, and once the order block, if I miss the first order block entry, I will then go down on the H1 break above. For example, for this, let me annotate. For example, for this bullish trade, I'll be looking to buy in the direction of the trend. You know, this is what I'll be looking to do, to buy. So
Perfect.
if I miss this order block down here, what I just do is I just go now and be waiting for 1 hour break. Like for example, this one has broken. I'm going to go to this candle here to look for a trade on the 5 minutes, and that trade was here. Although I did not trade this one. And then I will wait. Once this one breaks again, I was going to look for a trade on this red candle here. And then I stop there. Now I already have 1, 2, 3 trades. I stop there. That's what I do. So basically for me, when you send your order block, I'm really not very interested in getting my trade at the order block, inside the order block itself. But if I can, that's good. But if not, I will wait for candle break. For example, there was a trade that Asnan highlighted last week or this week, Euro, this week or last week, I can't remember, Euro GBP. And it never came to the order block. But then there was a candle break above, which I took. It was a very nice trade for me. It was just that I took that trade and I didn't have the time to be on the computer to follow up. I could have taken 3. So I only took 1 trade for 12 hours. If I was on the computer, I was going to take like 3 of those trades. And actually, I wrote a note to Asnan thanking him for highlighting that. There were also many other trades that he highlighted that I could have taken, but I did not have time. So when people get the order block and they miss to see how the trade sets up in the order block or around the order block zone, just go down to the 1 hour in the direction of the trade and wait for candle break. But it's good to look for the first 1, 2, 3. That's what I do.
Please, when you say the candle break, do you mean on the 1 hour time frame?
Yeah, on the 1 hour time frame. For example, this one, I've just given the example here. You see, this candle here broke this one higher. So I went down.
Yeah.
Yes, I went down on this other candle here to look for the trade. And this is the trade here on the 5 minutes. You know, so yeah, like that. Exactly that. But for this particular trade, I never went in it because there was the news, the yen news. So I always run away from the news.
Okay.
Yes, that is a very, very good input from you, Muna. Is a very, very good. You're right. So you do not always have to be like, once there is an alert, it is the time for you to right away enter the trade. You actually have 1 hour at least. Come back the next 1 hour or 1 hour candle. I mean, not exact 1 hour, because it may be like, 1 hour and a half or 1 hour something, but just come back on the next 1 hour, wait for example, if it is a buy order block, wait for the next 1 hour to see if there is one candle break the last candle high, like this one, breaks the high. And then, for example, you missed it, you just wait another candle break the high. Imagine that. Here's the good thing. If this is a major pair, euro dollar, euro yen, euro Canadian, whatever, that you can trade it on M1, you know that on H4, it's already reached the buy order block. And then so you go to H1, okay? Now let's say you missed this one, okay? You missed the first one, so you got this. So you started, for example, from here, from here, okay?
Yes,
You started
yes.
from here. So you can start from here, or from here, or from here. Imagine that every single hour you actually have a chance, especially if you are good like James, Pat, or any other like Nam who are trading on M1. This is actually a very good opportunity. Once you see there is an order block and it already breaks the high, this is buy order block. You go to every H1, and then if you want, every 1 hour you have a trade, you have a probability to buy on M1, for example.
Yeah.
What is that? If you want to trade it on M1. Oh gosh, where is it? It's already really far. Well, yeah, it was like on 16. Why it doesn't go that way? Hold on. I don't have all this because this is on the new computer. I open it, so I do not have what is it, history on M1 because I don't trade on M1.
Okay, but and I think we understand you. We understand what you mean. And if somebody like me, if I can trade on M1, I would have doubled my account in this move. Really, I would have doubled my account, or even triple the account. Just this move, you know, because this, you see that it's quite a big move.
Yes, take a look. Take a look. This H4 just 1 hour. So you want to take a look. Maybe this is also as I just like from Par. So he posted. I think that he really entered by the book H1 candle M15 and only one time, and that's it. Actually, like in one pair, there are some pair which is like, okay, for example, you got I think it was your Swiss franc yen, and it was a sell order block, but the price keep going up. And if we see that we see something like that, then we can just give up. But again, you want to make like highlight of the zone, and again, just limit your losses in particular pair. And maybe if you lose 1 or 2, and consider the next few hour or the next hour, which is another candle break, as a new chance for you, because you are still within the zone of the buy area from H4. So you can kill it on M5 and 15. You see, this is H1 breaks. This is H1 break. You didn't get here, but you got this. And you didn't get around. This one is another chance. This one is a losing one, but if you enter, you got another. And here is also another. They are like 1, 2, 3, 4 entry. Like if one loses, 3 are winning. So you can get probably like 1 to 30. And imagine that if you do it like, for example, 0.5%, that's 15% in just from one order block from H4, just from 1 alert. So this is all connection with the first question. You really don't have to be worried about how many pairs you have to trade. Okay, you just want to understand the market structure, and then you know how to trade it.
And also another thing that I do, sorry, let me just finish. Another thing that I do is I try to find out which markets are really trending, which ones will be really trending and which ones will be just like ranging. And if I find a market that will be trending, there will be an impulse move. I try to position myself in that impulse move using the 1 hour break of high or low. And once I do that, and then I just ride the trade to where it ends.
So did you move to a lower time frame, or you stay put with whatever the time frame you analyze?
No, I analyze on the 1 hour break, like Ann said. Ann sends his order block on the 4 hours. And then once it reaches the order block or passes the order block, if I miss inside the order block, I just go to 1 hour break of candle, high or low. Once it breaks, I go down to the 5 minutes. Once you
Okay,
break
so
that,
you
go down
move
to the,
you move
Yes.
one more time frame below. Okay.
yes,
Yes.
5 minutes. Yes,
So that
that's what
the
I do.
alert is from, let's say the alert is from H4. Once you receive
Yes.
the alert, you go to
Mhm.
H1 looking
Yes.
for the candle. If this is buy order block, you are looking for the candle
Break.
break the high, okay?
Yes.
Whichever candle break the high, so you do not be worried. So you just trade the next hour and looking for the opportunity. As long as the candle break the high and it still has probability to go, for example, to your target, in this case in daily high, and if you
Yes.
still have a chance, you just can keep trading every time there
Yes.
is breaks the high. And this breaks the high is just for you to, for the price or the market to tell you you can trade the next candle. So once it
Yes.
is proven that it is breaks the high, like this candle, okay, or this candle, even just the wick, but it breaks the high of the previous candle, then you go to M15 or M5. I would suggest you always take a look between M15 and M5, okay? So you do not want to just focus only on one, M15
Okay.
only or M5 only. You want to see which one make more sense to you. If this, for example, on M5, okay, here breaks break of structure, you feel like I don't feel comfortable, go to M15. This is clearer to me, then use M15. This is make more sense to me, even though sometimes it doesn't hit, or sometimes comparing to M5, this one could be break, hit the stop loss, for example. It doesn't matter, but you want to check between M5 and M15. It is up to you if you want to trade it on M1. It is not, I do not say that it is bad. It is just me personally. I just trade it on M5 or on M15. At least you want to check after the candle break the high or break the low from H1. You go to either M5 or M15 to looking for your entry order block from these two time frame. If you feel comfortable on M1, go ahead on M1. But you want to make some adjustment and not really like buy the book and that's it. This is the only chances. No. So like Muna said, as long as there is break the high and following what the main order block say, that this is a buy order block, and on the lower time frame, so you're actually making like the three confirmation. First, you got order block from H4, okay? And then second, you want to get confirmation on H1 that it already breaks the high. When a candle breaks the high, there is a high probability the next candle will go higher. And then when the next candle will go higher, so we go to M15 or M5 to looking for our entry by marking our order block. Does it always work? Sometimes it does. Oftentimes it does, sometimes it is not. You know, oftentimes it does, sometimes it is not. Like something like this, for example, it hit the stop loss, but again, if you believe the market could go here, you just re-enter, and then what is that? You still got a chance to make money. And the second thing, you want to limit. No matter how sure you are, the market can go up here. If your limit, for example, 4 times losses, that is, let's say you risk the same like me, 0.25. So your maximum risk per day is only 1%. Then if it is already hit 4 times, it's not your day. Just continue, because your trading is not based on one trade alone. It should be based on the long term. Like if you keep following your rule by adjusting, like, okay, M5, M15, but there are certain that you have to follow by the book, which means in terms of money management, that if you lose 4 times, for example, that's already 1%. It is not a must of 4 times. It's up to you how many times you want to do. But in one trade like this, one pair, I usually just maximum, like for example, 4 times, and I stop. Maybe some of you just 2 times. Some people maybe 8 times. I don't know, but 8 times that would be like too much. You see, because sometimes the market could be like really sideways and then keep against you. Well, then it's just not for you. Just continue. I just do not want to hassle myself or disturb myself, because, you know, when I say hitting 3 times is good, you know, it is not easy. when you have 2 trades that day, let's say you limit 4 maximum for one pair. And then imagine if you hit, for example, if you trade 3 pairs, all hitting 4 times, it's not funny, you know, it can really affect your psychology. But when you keep trading, you know that at some point, when you keep trading like that, regardless, you are losing 12 R, but with just one winning, 1 to trade, and then a continuation like this. In some instances, one pair can give you 3 chances, 2 chances, 3 chances or more to keep winning. Then in the long run, those 12 R can be covered and become positive. You know, like I think it was Par who said that he thought that he kept losing, he thought that it was minus, but he actually ended up positive 4% or 9% that week, even though he thought that he kept hitting a stop loss. Is because he followed the rule of the money management. Then I believe that. So even though that you keep losing, but you know the winning rate is high. But again, in reality, when you keep facing, for example, losing, if you are not, if you do not experience of trading the order block for quite a long time, you will usually start questioning yourself. Is this really work? You see, that's why you need to put a set of rule, exactly like what Nams is doing. He has his own rule. So you have at least a strict rule. If, for example, am I okay if I'm losing like 3% in a day? That means you have 3 trades, for example, losing 4 times. That could lose like 3%. Am I okay with that? So if you're okay, then you can continue. You can continue doing that. Like for me, no, I'm just okay. If it is like, let's say for main account, I'm okay if I lose like 1% more than that, I do not want. But in a smaller account, okay, I'm okay losing like 2%, 3%, because that also happens to me sometimes. You know, that happens to me sometimes, like when there are bad days. You see, when some of you, like for example, posting and you have a winning trade, but I personally lose using what is that? Okay, so I personally choosing the wrong side of the trade and I keep losing. There are moments like that, and you will also face the same. But you do not want to judge your performance based only from one pair or one trade. Just follow the rule, like what Munat said. If you got like a buy order block, for example, like this, you missed it, you go to H1. Wait for the next opportunity. You will have a lot of opportunity when one order block is working. And you know, one candle of H4, take a look. This one candle H4 takes 3 breaks the high, break the high on H1. This is just on H1 from H4 candle perspective. So you would have a lot of chances. Even one candle can give you 4 times, right? 4 times of H4. So you want to give yourself sometimes. It does not have to be like, I think someone said, what is it? If for those who are not patient enough, what method should you use? There is no other method. So patience should be one of them, and just follow the rule like what I explained it just now. And also Muna, thank you so much. You are giving like a very good suggestion. That is like what I do. So if I missed it, it doesn't mean that you missed it at all. So maybe you just have the time after you're coming back from work. This still have a chance and to go up. So you can check it on the order block alert and see what happened, because it could happen that the order block came yesterday and it's just, you still see the formation of H1 still working. Then you still can work on that pair. So it doesn't have to be always on every single alert and you trade it. Alert comes, you trade it. No, sometimes one alert can be traded still in the next 12 hours.
So sorry, and this week, or rather last week, I think the order block, the price doesn't come back to the order block, especially the dollar yen. It just straight up. So actually I lost quite a fair bit, because I mean by rules it's like we had to wait for the price to come back to the order block and then go down to a lower time frame. But in this case, I want to ask anyone here, especially Mula, and can you go back to the 5 minutes time frame just now you have shown? Those arrow is and the circles were drawn by me. Yeah. So what I'm trying to ask
Right?
everyone here is that yeah, quite all right now. Okay. Yeah, they're all good, all good.
Okay.
Now, because again, you can see that the order block has been plotted, but then the price doesn't come back. Can we say that once it's a break of structure and we use that break of structure where I draw the circle and arrow, and then I kind of like entry on that, or anyone did that. I mean, this is on the high side. I mean, it's always easy to talk and look at it now because it's on the high side now. But at the time when the charts are still plotting, so anyone actually have done that after the break of structure, they enter into the market.
Yeah, Sean, basically
Yes.
you can, but I was just trying why I use the candle break the high or the low, something like that. So we do not like, I tend to try to help as many people to not keep sitting down in front of the computer and keep monitoring every 5 minutes, okay? Because basically when you do it based on the time frame, so I will just trade based on if I go to H1 here, for example. Okay, let's just start at this one, and then let me go copy this one and this one. So this is the beginning of the hour where you can trade, right? Now we go 2 and 5. You see that? We started from here. So I would draw this one, and then we started from here. I will draw this one. Wait, you can check a lot of order block. You just look left once you go to lower time frame at the beginning of the hour. You just look left. So it's almost the same, but it's just, to me, I don't like the idea of like we keep waiting every 5 minutes, waiting for the break above. That's all right. I just you know, try to cut the time. So, you know, in 1 hour, I can finish like maybe 15 pages of the book. So I can enjoy, you know, reading the novel or things like that, instead of keep waiting back and forth, waiting for every 5 minutes to wait if there is a break above. So I like it every 1 hour. So I try not to, because I was discussing this with Marcus last time. He also tried to learn all this Euro USD scalping. He was also practicing the Kyle style. He said that he tried to wait the perfect setup. Remember the king pattern that I was talking about? So he tried to wait all that long that finally he ended up just sitting up the whole day with 1 or 2 entries. So I want to make sure that everyone can trade really simple, that's without have to sit down in front of the chart and keep analyzing, just based on the candle break, the 1 hour. Okay, if it breaks the high, go to lower time frame and just look left where is the last order block, because the break is already happened. Just
Yeah,
like
so
what I
so the
told you.
price, so the price still had to come back to the order block, even we go to the 5 minutes time frame.
Yeah,
And then before we
the
execute
idea,
the trade.
yes, the idea is that when we see the price breaks the high on H1, we want to see that break of structure, okay?
Yes.
And usually the price come back. Look, let me make this big.
Yeah, so
Look.
so the now the answer is the price had to come back to the order block.
Yes.
Regards, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I get you now. So
look like this. This is the price breaks the structure, right? So we started looking for opportunity from here, right? Because this is the break of structure, and then we started from here. Take a look. Usually the price before it's continue higher, it usually going down first. Does that make sense? Going down first. This is to go down is probably getting the order block around this area. Yeah, there is, I already put it. Around this area, probably there is on M5, there is, because so the price usually a retest. So here is the break of structure, okay, here. And then you start looking for buy when this candle start. So it start from this area, right? From here, there, from that wick. And then it goes down with the wick below. It probably taking the order block on the left side after the breakout happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which is happened in the lower time
Yes,
frame.
which is happening in this case. Like I said, if it is in a hindsight, it is so easy, like it looks like cherry picking. But I would like you to actually back test it. Back test it for every single, like if it is like on H4, look for the break of structure on H1 and go to M5 or M15. Usually the best one you can find on M5, but sometimes if there are too many, for example, on M5, too many choices, like there are 3 order block within one break of structure. Let's say there is the break of structure, like this is just for an example, okay? This is the break of structure, and there are 1, 2, 3, something a lot. That's by the time when you want to go to M15. So maybe it can become only 1. So that's what I mean by making more sense. So maybe when you go to M5, maybe you will see more than 2 order block on M5. So you do not want to confuse yourself. So go to M15. So you do not have to place 3 orders on M5, but instead just enough, just 1 on this candle break above.
Yeah.
Oh, you said, hold on, there is James. And I had 4 losses on M1 in one day, and the next trade give me 10R, and I was up to 6R for that day. It happens. Yeah, like I said, sometimes. But when you had like all these keep losing 4 times in a row, for so many people, it, you know, like I said, it's not funny feeling, right? Like it's bad.
No, it's not good. Yeah, last week I really down, and I just shut down my computer and then move away from the screen.
But if
it's
you
really
know,
bad experience.
It's very bad experience. You see, that's why I limit myself 3 to 4 times and I'm done, for example, for the day. Or I will continue, but slightly you will become more careful and you become doubt your own analysis. But if you already done this cycle like 1,000 times, you know, you will know that is actually normal. So it will not affect you because you are not doing it like 1,000 times. So every time you lose like 4 times in a row or more in that matter, maybe 15, you will be, oh my God, the order block is just doesn't work. You will see, but if you keep doing that 1,000 times, and you will find your style, and then you will find that there are something that sometimes is hard for you to explain. You see, like my husband did on US 500. So he didn't take this as breaks the law. Why? Because he just feel like the market maybe go to a sideway, or it's just the gut feeling. I don't know. So he just wait for the price to be lower than the order block maybe, and then he went to M15, and then boom, he got 1 to 10. There are times like not always lucky like this. He also sometimes get like a bad day. You see, end up minus in a day or sometimes in a few days. That also, if the mistake was on his side, for example, he thought that he really forced the market, that still happens to everyone. So you just have to keep doing that, because your trade result is basically if you follow a certain rules. Okay, if you follow certain rules, like let's say if we now discussing that if there is a buy order block, you want to wait H1 break the high, but you keep insisting to looking for buy when the price, for example, still break the low over like that, and you believe I will just take the risk. That is so stupid, right? So, but if you follow a certain rule like this, and then if it hit a stop loss, it's okay. At least you already follow some important rules, because if it is still break the low, and then you are start looking for buy opportunity here, and if we say why, well, because it is within order block, that is just doesn't make any sense. Right now we have all the rule when there is an order block, we want to wait. For example, the candle breaks the high. That is when you want to start looking for opportunity. And then if it hit the stop loss, it's okay. At least you follow the rule, because at some point it will happen that you will have a nice trade. You may have 15 losing in a row, but then if you have 3 winning in a row, that will cover all the 15 losing in a row. If you get like 30 R versus like 15, you still get 15 R. Trips, you said that you have a question.
Yeah. So I was just, while you were talking, I was doing a back test. So I realized that I tried entering on 5 minutes and 15 minutes. The price did not come back to that order block. So I saw another break on the 1 hour. I tried to enter again. The price didn't come back. How do you handle such situation? Will you keep waiting for the break of 1 hour before you set another block? And what will happen to the other blocks that you have drawn that price didn't come back to?
The price didn't come back to the main order block or to the lower time frame order block?
To the lower time frame order blocks for entry.
For entry. If that's the case, then you do not have any entry. You just follow, because if the market is very strong, okay, let's go to, oops, why I put this, hold on. Let's say like this one, right? I'm just, this is for the first break of structure over here, 1 hour.
Yeah.
This one didn't hit, right? This didn't hit. You don't have it. And then here is another 1 hour over here. This one also didn't hit. You just continue. Sometimes this one it hit and then it hit stop loss, but you still get a chance. And you just continue. You just continue.
Okay. Does that mean, okay, does that mean you ignore, like you, if you have a buy limit down here, you delete the buy limits?
Over here? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't directly what is it? Sorry, I wouldn't let it go just like that. Only one. I usually put maximum of 2, but the best practice, just have 1. In 1 pair entry, just have 1. Sometimes I put 2, you know, because I wanna catch it in case this goes wrong, in case this didn't hit, you know. Sometimes in 1 order block like this, I put 150% and 1 at the whole candle. That sometimes happens if I am very sure that there is high probability the market to actually make money, either this or that. Sometimes, but I do not do that like every time. I look at the whole situation. Not really by the book. I have to always remove that, because sometimes I still leave some pending order also. You can try, like, I mean, if this one is already going, then why would you let it here, the pending order, if the price is already come back here? Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So yeah, usually if the order block does not hit that, because the market is start moving and really fast. So some order block was not hit, including like this one, right?
Yes.
This one that doesn't hit also. So all right. So is there any question? I think it's already almost 2 hours. And I'm gonna upload the recording probably tomorrow. So if there is there still any question? If there is no question, so we can open again like next week, discuss about this, any example of the entry or any difficulties. We can try to find an example, the hour that is not working or things, you know, because the market right now continue really volatile right now. And people or the news keep saying about this recession because of the inflation high, and there could be recession, but to us it doesn't matter because we still can make money, buy and sell, right? So nothing to worry about in there.
All right.
Thank you,
Ann, and thank you the rest. Really
Thank
give me
you.
some boost.
Yes.
Right?
So let's
Right now in my hour is already 3 a.m. in the Australia time. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Oh my God, Son. Okay, thank you so much all for coming. I will upload the both recording because I lost internet for quite some time, so there will be 2 recordings. Okay, thank you so
Anne.
much, guys. You guys have a
Okay.
good weekend. Okay.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.